Good day everyone, I am Casey Pagkaliwangan from BSIE 3B and for today's video, I'm going to discuss to you a power and hydraulic tools. It's how to use it and its maintenance. So let's start with the power tools, which is the angle grinder. So an angle grinder is a handled power tool used for grinding or polishing. So let's now talk about how to use it. First, attach the grinding disc to angle grinder and make sure the disc is fully fitted with the inner flange. You can see the flat circle thing in the presentation. That is the disc. There is also a circle plate in the grinder, which we call the flange, where you should attach the disc. Next is lock the outer flange using wrench. Make sure the disc is properly installed and locked tightly. After attaching the disc in the inner flange, you must lock it using a wrench to secure that it won't wear off during the procedure. Next is mark accurately the area for cutting or grinding. You should create a mark in the area you are going to cut to create a firm cut or grind. Next, hold tightly the handle of the grinder and turn the power switch on. As shown in the picture, you have to hold the grinder tightly to prevent it from slipping from your hand. A glove is also required for your safety. When you feel that you are ready, push the on button. Then, drop the grinding disc or wheel through the marked area. Caution: hold tightly the grinder with both hands and put your goggles and dust mask. Next is, now you should apply an amount of pressure while cutting or grinding. To cut or grind, you have to put a pressure to the grinder and make sure you hold it with a firm grip, as there is a tendency for the grinder to want to jump out of your hands when it hits the area. Next, after grinding, remove the disc from the cut area and turn off the grinder. Then remove the power cord. Never remove or even touch the grinder disc while it is moving because it can cut your finger or hand. Always turn it off after using and before plugging out the cord for your own safety. Next, let's now move on with the maintenance. So before using the grinder, look at the cables and hoses. So paying attention to their general appearance, cracks, folds, as well as plugs and connections is a must because it can cause danger if it's not properly taken or observed. Next is keep your equipment clean. After each use of the grinder, disconnect power and brush or wipe off dust and sludge. If grinding wet or using a built-in misting system. Take back the grinder, remove tooling and wipe off the heads. Inspect plates and shroud. Make sure screws and bolts are in place and tightened. Next, check the tooling for uneven or abnormal wear. This may indicate the tool holder if damaged. It can affect your work and safety if during the process the grinder handle suddenly collapses. Lastly, check tool holder and grinding head for cracks or other visible damage. Replace any damaged parts. It is a good idea to use manufacturer's original parts as they are made to strict standards and hence higher quality. Pirate parts may be priced lower but will not last as long, nor perform as well as original parts. Let's now move on with the second tool, which is the hydraulic pipe bender. So a pipe bender is designed to create intricate curvatures in pipes made from mild steel. So here are the steps in using a hydraulic pipe bender. First, install the die and follower block. So dies are the part around which the metal tube or pipe is bent. You should choose a die according to the size of the pipe that you wish to bend. Insert it into the die slot and insert the pin into the die to secure it. The size of the follower block has to correspond with the die. Place the block near the die with sufficient space for the tube. Then take the follower block pin and insert it into the main bender arm and the follower block. Next is prepare the pipe. Take a pipe with a size corresponding to that of die and the follower block. Using a pen or marker, make a random mark at the point where you want to start the bend. Next step is insert the pipe, then install the U-strap. Hold the pipe in between the follower block and the die. Vertically align the block to the pipe and then insert the pipe into the machine. The die will rotate outwards as you insert the pipe. Once the pipe is in place, rotate the die back into the correct position. After that, install the U-strap. U-strap, it holds the pipe in the place with the lug. It consists of a pin that corresponds to the size of the pipe and the follower block. Next is fix up the drive pin. So the drive pin locks the pivot arms to the die, thus facilitating the bending process. Take the pin and drop it into the gap between the arms and the die. Next step is align the pipe and create tension in the pivot arms. So adjust the pipe so that the random mark that was previously made lines up with the leading edge of the die. You can accomplish this by looking through one of the drive pin holes until the mark is visible. Be reminded that the pivot arms are usually loose, so kailangan mong maglagay ng tension sa pivot arms sa pamamagitan ng paghila dito. Next, install the degree pointer and engage the drive rock. Take the pointer and place it on the end of the lug. The pointer consists of a thumb screw. Use it to anchor the pointer to the lug. Ensure that the pointer is resisting on the degree ring and is aligned to 0 degrees. At this point, you need to tighten the tensioner bolt, which is located next to the die. Then engage the first notch of the drive rack into the sleeve at the end of the pivot arm. Next, start the bending process. Pull on the handle and the pivot arms will begin to open. The die will rotate and bend the pipe. At the same time, the pointer will begin to indicate the curvature measurement. As you bend the pipe, engage the subsequent teeth of the drive rack and work your way down to the last notch. Next, reset the bender, then remove the pipe. Once you have reached the last notch in the drive rack, you need to reset the bender. Complete the last half turn of the handle and hold it in the closed position. Keep a little pressure on the handle and detach the release lever of the anti-spring back kit. Then, release the drive pin, allowing the pivot arm to become loose. Put a little pressure on the release lever and reset the pivot arms. And then, place the drive pin in the next drive hole while keeping the arms in their reset position. Then, you can continue the bending process. And once you have got the bends you need, it is time to remove the pipe. Keep a little tension on the handle and detach the spring back kit. Swing the drive rack and the handle out of your way, and then remove the drive pin and close the pivot arms. Loosen the tensioner bolt, remove the U-strap pin, and take out the pipe from the machine. Now let's move on with the maintenance. So One of the maintenance guidelines of the hydraulic pipe bending machines is that the hydraulic system of the equipment must be drained and refilled regularly because keeping the oil clean is very important to the operation of the entire system. Now, here's the procedure in maintaining a hydraulic pipe bender. First, operate the tube and pipe bender strictly in accordance with the operating procedures. Hindi mo dapat ipilit na gamitin ang pipe bender sa ibang activities kasi masisira lamang ito. Number 2, check V-belts, handles, knobs, buttons, wear and repairs, and report spare parts. It is essential na lagi i-check yung mga parts ng pipe bender kung may sira or need ng repairs or maluwag ang V-belts para maayos agad at maiwasan ang anumang aksidente. Third, check the maintenance switch safety and handle regularly to ensure its reliability. Fourth, lubricate and clean the pipe bending equipment 10 minutes before work every day. Before you start operating in everyday session, operating the pipe bender, dapat i-check mo muna at kung maaari, linisin para secure yung paggamit mo. Next is, it is strictly forbidden for non-designated personnel to operate the equipment. If you are not experienced or knowledgeable about the pipe bending, don't try to use it. Kasi, pwede mong masaktan ng iyong sarili or masira ang equipment. Number 6, according to the lubrication time, fixed point of the elbow table, add lubricating oil. The oil should be cleaned before the metal tube bender is running and no dirt. Last, the metal pipe bender must always be kept clean, unpainted, rust-proof grease part. Always inspect your equipment. If kinakalawang na yung mga parts, dapat mo nang linisin, pintahan, or kapag malala na, it is better na palitan mo na.